So I invite the speakers of the morning session. So we had different presentations and different ideas. So I invite Mr. B.R. Mehta. Mr. Achyuta Ghosh has left for a NASCOM inauguration of an Industry 4.0 lab, so I think he will not be there in the session now. I invite Mr. Gautam Datta. I invite Anne-Marie and Mr. Shivaram. We'll have a small Q&A session because already we overshot the lunch.
5 minutes maximum. Yeah. Anyone? Please announce your name and then also tell to which speaker you are addressing the question.
Good afternoon, sirs. I'm Jignesh Vasavada from Tata Chemicals. Basically, I'm an instrumentation engineer. And I have a question for Mr. Mehta. Sir, my question is, you said in your presentation in initial stage that you were involved with integration of over 500 plus DCS.
500 plus. It is 500 plus systems, not DCS.
Systems. Different systems. So
yeah,
I feel
it can be PLC systems, it can be analyzer management, it can be fiscal metering.
Having IO of more than 500,000?
Yes, we have more than 500,000 IOs connected to one system.
So just I wanted to clear some of my understanding on this. What I feel is, as far as the decisions on or immediate decisions on plant is concerned, we have operators in plant. Then if we want to analyze the data, then we have plant managers for that particular plant who can analyze data and suggest some solution. By integrating all such kind of different systems and having billions of data at a single place, how it will help or how it makes some sort of business sense?
It is not collection of data. You have to then convert data into information, actionable information. If you can convert that data into actionable information for every machine, you can utilize that. You can create a what we call is some kind of a information graphic which will tell him where the problems are. If you can pinpoint the problems by collecting the data and converting into information, it is definitely useful to the operator.
Yeah, sir, I agree, but still I have minor doubt. That is a duty of particular plant manager. Generally, plant managers do such kind of analysis and bring up the solution. My question is, why to bring out those data and bring out such kind of data of different systems and analyze it somewhere out of the premises?
It is analyzed in the same premises, in the same system. Basically, you are connecting every machine to the integrated system. So you get an information which is actually required by the operator to run the entire gamut of the plant. It is not one system. Basically, the main system can be a DCS, but then you have emergency shutdown system connected to that. You have fire and gas systems. You have machine monitoring system. You need them. The operator needs to know if machine is going into a vibration mode or the vibration is slowly increasing. So unless he gets that kind of an information and a pre-alarm, he will not be able to take an action in time, and it might end up into a shutdown. Then you lose the production.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Anyone else? Take the mic.
Good morning. This is Gaurav from Tata Steel. I have a question for Madam Annie of Bentley. Ma'am, it was a great presentation, and you showed that 3D visualization of a plant is possible in Bentley systems that you provide. The 3D models, or like if it's a furnace, 3D, you can go through that, the entire 360 degree, and zoom into any of the location and show a 3D visualization of the items. So my question is, actually we have one Oracle database at the end in which we capture real-time data of different temperatures around, maybe if it's a structure or something. So temperatures are at different locations are there in our database. You provide us 3D visualization models. So can it be this Oracle data, can it be integrated with the 3D model and shown, like we just put an arrow at any point and it shows a temperature fetching from the Oracle database? Can it integrate into it and show like that? Does it, is it such an offering from your side or something?
Yeah, I think I understand your question is how do you integrate the 3D models with the real-time information that you've got from temperature sensors and things like that? Right. Yeah, so what I tried to show is particularly, particularly with the PNIDs and things like that, you don't necessarily always have an up-to-date 3D model that's come from the engineering environment and so on. So there are other ways now to capture the as-is information, be it through photographs and then relating those photographs or relating that information back to your information. And I showed the sort of way you can zoom in on a nameplate of a high definition, from a high definition photograph, capture some of that information, serial number, something like that, and then relate it to the information you do have in your databases, and then relate that to the real-time information. So absolutely, it's possible if you've got talking to Mr. Metha's issue, he's 500 systems. In his 500 systems, he's going to have this information. He's going to have the points of data. The real trick is determining what's your up-to-date data, what's the real, the most important information, and relating those things together, whether they're through existing engineering models you've got or dashboards that you might have. And this is where the technologies such as predictive analytics or reliability-centered maintenance systems, they come into play, and then adding the visualization that we'll add helps you integrate these things together. And it doesn't necessarily have to be big, expensive systems integrations. It can simply be picking up certain points and then relating them in different systems. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thanks, ma'am.
Good afternoon. My question is for Madam from Bentley. See, he has asked a question in one way. I want to ask you, the question is your asset management system built ground up? And the second question is it configurable for any kind of industry? This is my question.
So I think you're asking a question about our asset management system. Yeah. Right. Bentley, originally, our background is in engineering data and engineering modeling, and we made a couple of acquisitions over the past few years. One acquisition was a reliability-centered maintenance organization that actually had nothing to do with engineering data, and when we acquired them, people said, well, why has Bentley acquired Ivara, this reliability-centered maintenance company? And Ivara has been around for many, many years, taking input from a whole series of different systems, relating that to known information about failures, and being able to apply, to figure out when something's going to go wrong, and predict that in the future, and be able to go from a reactive maintenance organization to a proactive maintenance organization. By Bentley acquiring them, we've been able to combine that sort of intelligence with engineering information to give a more visual view to the operations and maintenance people, enable better decisions. Last year we added predictive analytics, which was an engine to sort out a whole pile of predictive real-time stuff, to add that as well to the environment. And our main success, industrial successes to date, have been in the steel industry, for example, where there's a lot of heavy equipment and things like that, where you don't necessarily have a lot of real-time control systems, but you have a lot of data coming in from all over the place. The mining industry, the utilities industry, to a certain extent the oil and gas and chemicals industries as well. And the big booming area right now is the transportation industry.
Power plants? Power plants?
Yes, I mentioned TNB Malaysia. Power, we've a couple, and also Exelon as well. We have a few examples in the power industry as well. Yep.
Thank you.
And we have the last question, if there is one. Okay. That will be the last question. Okay. After that, maybe you can interact during lunchtime.
A question to Anna, ma'am. This is regarding asset performance management. Actually, as you said, digital engineering, that is the black portion always in the industries. If you see in Indian market also, the data for the equipments, what the asset or equipment, what the customer is having, they won't have much data of that. That is a basic thing. As we see, from nameplate, with a nameplate we get some data. But if it is a pump, it's an older pump, older fan, we won't get much data from that. In such case, most of the time, I have seen some asset model systems, they will take critical applications, they will get data from it, and with that they do some analysis and they do that asset management system. But I don't feel, I feel what I personally feel is each and every equipment definitely influence the performance of the total system. So in what accuracy level it could be if only critical applications have been taken, the data is taken from the critical applications.
So I'm not sure I caught the question. Did anyone? What's your question?
I think maybe during lunchtime you can have the interaction. Okay. Anyway, I'd like to thank the speakers and delegates for their patience in listening to all the speakers. And again, I'd like to thank the speakers for their patience in answering and then making the presentations quite lively. We need to catch up some time, so I'm going to break the lunch time from 1 hour to 45 minutes. We reassemble back by 2:15. We start the presentations at 2:15 sharp. Thank you all.